Or get your predictions entered in chat there. We're going to be seeing this race taking off in just a moment. And there we go. Cyrez taking off and heading through that start line. Ooh, a little slowly, but you know what? That might have worked out for them because there were a little bit of jostling and bumping visions that I feel like I saw. A little bit of a flash of flame past their face. Looks like they are pulling into first place. They were having a little bit of trouble there. There was somebody who pulled ahead of them. Get back over to Sigelian's view here. We have Crimson Freak, now Rudnev and Cyrez still in first, followed by VG Vert. This is a similar beginning to that previous race, except VG Vert was in third for the very beginning. Let's get back into Cyrez's view of that clear, open track in front of them because, you know, there's no other racers in front of them. They are in first place right now. They are kind of home free for unexpected obstacles. They just have to avoid those normal buildings. Let's get a look over, and it looks like there was a problem for Crimson Freak there. They may have collided with someone at the beginning, lost a wing. VG Vert, Cyrez, and Cat 740. Back to Cyrez, back to VG Vert, and this is the view of VG Vert here in second place, pushing and trying to catch up. There we go. We did see just the slightest glimpse of Cyrez there in front of them, off in the distance. Here's Crimson Freak, and it looks like they did run into some pretty significant challenges there. They're a little far behind where they probably would like to be. Rudnev just spinning out of control and making our camera do crazy, wild, funky things. Ninjetti right here getting into that spiral, but we did see the iris right at the top of the tower open, so we're going to pop back over towards, yes, we're going to take a look here at Cyrez. They are starting to come down into the home stretch, this last final long straightaway, heading into the start line, and it looks like their time is going to be 1 minute, 54 seconds, and 75 milliseconds. Pretty good time, but if we do have high times from people, ooh, no, it's like Cat 740 ran into some problem, crashed into a building, I imagine. But if we do have very high times from VG Vert, like we saw last time, that 1 minute 50-second lap really did give them huge benefits in the past. Let's take a look at all those times. Cyrez in the first, followed by Ninjetti, it looks like, and then VG Vert, I believe, was coming up in third, though we may be seeing those points again one more time. Looks like there may have been a crash there for VG Vert, as we did lose contact with their ship for a while, and hopefully that was not a crash because that could really harm their times moving into the future, especially if the other racers are a little bit more careful and a little bit more able to stay alive throughout the whole race. Coming back out into third perspective, we are going to be looking at Rudnev here, who is in a place, but we don't actually know where they are, so hopefully we'll be able to get those placements up in just a couple of seconds. We'll show you a view of both camera angles. We do have, ooh, actually let's zoom in here. We've lost our HUD over on the top view, so we'll just leave it as it is right now because we're not actually sure of the name of that individual. But there we go. We do have Cyrez in first place, Ninjetti bringing up second, Rudnev now moving up into third place, VG Vert fourth place, Cat 740, and Crimson Freak bringing up the fifth and sixth places. Here we go. We do have Cyrez heading into that spire at the end of this second lap. And coming down into just about into those last two home straight stretches. Crimson Freak unfortunately running into more challenges. This is the problem. Once you start to fall back in the race, you start to get a little bit more risky. You start to push your ship a little bit harder than you necessarily should to try to make up those few seconds. Sometimes it doesn't pay off. So hopefully Crimson Freak can hold it together to maybe make up some more time, but they are looking to be falling back quite in some ways. Here we have an individual coming across that start line, and we will be seeing the scores relatively soon to find out who that individual is. So once again, we will look at both the Cyrez view and the nameless view up above as we try to determine who it is that we're looking at. Here we go. We do have Cyrez coming through into the ninth iris of this race. And there we go. We do have Cyrus, followed by Ninjetti, followed by Rednev, Vert, Cat 740, and Crimson Freak. We have not had any changes to placements so far, so Cyrus is still taking that commanding sort of a lead, coming into that long downward traveling sort of bend in the track. Now this is something interesting to talk about too. We do have that new flight system where the engines are more vulnerable to heat at this point. Flight systems overheating can cause real problems to our racers, as their engines can actually stop working at their peak performance if they are overheating for a while, which can cause some pretty significant problems. Honestly, in some cases, probably more significant than crashing, depending on the type of crash it is that you have. So pilots definitely have to be super careful. Ooh, and we have a real close race for second, third, and fourth place. They are all right next to each other, but we will watch Cyrus come through to the end of this race, looking like they are going to be finishing in first place with a time total of 1 minute 54, time total 5 minutes 44 seconds. Let's take a look over at... oh, there we go, Cyrus.